Welcome everyone. We are so glad you're here. My name is Abigail and I am an event planner for the Tri-Lakes Chamber of Commerce. We put on these monthly education series in partnership with the Pikes Peak Small Business Development Center, so the SBDC. So they are a fabulous resource for personal coaching on a variety of topics. You can meet one-on-one with consultants and also educational seminars. If you live up here in the Tri-Lakes area, the SBDC actually will come up here and do consultations with you here, which is really great. As the Tri-Lakes Chamber of Commerce, we get to partner with businesses from Denver all the way down to Fountain. So a lot of people just think it's up here, but we're helping people who want to do business or live here and own a business in the Tri-Lakes region. So it's a fabulous place. There's some events on your table. Some of you, I can get it out more, but anyway, that are coming up. But we are thrilled to be able to offer this seminar today on branding. And so I will introduce our speaker. Her name is Suzanne. And I didn't get how to say your last name, my dear. Tulene. Okay, my last name is Leger. It has an accent in it, so it doesn't look like how it sounds, how you read it. So I didn't know if Tulene is like that too. So I'm going to read an introduction for you, and then we're excited to dive in. Suzanne has a lot of really valuable information for us today to talk about branding and marketing for your businesses. I am video recording this seminar. It will be available on our website, so if you want to go back to listen to it as reference, it will be available. We are going to go straight through to the end. So if you need to use the restroom, feel free to. It's back that way. There are some waters on the counter. Just get up and go do that, but we'll go through the end and Suzanne will take questions. So, like you, brand clarity expert, international speaker, and author Suzanne Tulene seeks brands she can trust long term. But what does it take for brands to capture the hearts and minds of your customers, employees, and community? Is it discounted products, clever marketing, or relevant value construct that they consistently deliver to that speaks to who you truly stand for? With over 2.5 decades of strategic communication, employee brand engagement, and internal brand development, Suzanne's inside-out brand building strategy creates the clarity and actions necessary for her clients to drive consistency, distinction, and advocacy long-term. Because her brand DNA approach is radically different, she is paving the way companies and personal brands elevate their value position and actually reduce marketing costs by growing market share. As an international speaker and certified trainer, she thrives in front of live audiences and in virtual environments, teaching her step-by-step brand elevation process. As author of The 6 Myths of Small Business Branding, which I think we might have over here, so you should take a look at her books, and co-author of Brand DNA, Uncover Your Organization's Genetic Code to Competitive Advantage, also published in China, and her newest book, Personal Brand Clarity, Identify, Define, and Align what you want to be known for. She is helping to pave the transformational highway to grow by conscious strategic design, not by default. So get conscious and be inspired to grow. Today's session is all about you. She encourages your note-taking and questions throughout the session. Let's welcome Suzanne Tulene.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
And some of them might need what their sign is because they just walked in.
For those of you that just walked in, put your name on the front so I can know who you are and I can call you by name. That would be great if I can see, because I can't really see way back there. And on the back side, if you could put what you want to be known for, 1 or 2 words, a very short phrase of what you want to be known for on the back side. That would be great. All right, guys, I'm going to start off with a couple of questions. Who can tell me what the definition of insanity is?
Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. How many of you here are ready to do something different? Raise your hand. Yes? Turn to your neighbor, give him a high five, and say, I'm not insane. All right, so we have a lot to get through in 90 minutes. So I'm going to do my best to get through it. However, at the same time, I want this to be a highly collaborative event. So it's just not me giving you information. I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions and wanting some feedback, right? So it's very important for us to create this collaboration because we're going to learn that much more when we do. You guys in agreement with that? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, like Abigail said, we're not going to have a bathroom break, so feel free to get up and move around. If you need to, get out of your seat because it's going to be 90 minutes. And feel free to use the restroom whenever you need to. And then let's have some fun. This is all about learning, right? Learning is all about fun. And how many of you are having a good time growing your business? Yes, sort of, maybe? You want to have a more fun time growing your business? Because branding is really fun. That's where you really get into the good stuff. So let's get started. All right. Let's see if I'm working here. There we go.
It's blank.
I don't know what's happening.
There
There
we
it is.
go.
Right.
It got tired.
So it's one of those delayed ones. I had this the other day at the SBDC. I have a question for you. Just who do you think you are? Mark, you're here. Hi. Everybody know Mark Biddle? Everybody should know Mark Biddle if you're trying to grow your business big time. He leads the Leading Edge curriculum down at the SBDC. Are you familiar with that? Yes? Awesome. Welcome, Mark. Thank you. I didn't know you were going to be here. So just who do you think you are? Right? Have you ever really thought about it? Have you ever really written it down? Who are you as either a personal brand, if you're a solo professional? That reminds me, how many solo professionals are here that have no employees? You are the brand of your business. You guys are? What do you guys do?
Real estate.
Real estate. Excellent. Agents, both of you?
Business coach.
Okay, awesome, beautiful. So I'm going to try to keep you guys in mind when I'm talking about all this stuff, but generally I have a different language when I talk to businesses with employees versus a solopreneur, but I'm trying to get you in the loop. If I've got enough of you here, we can make sure that happens. And please ask your questions no matter what, because everyone needs to know what you want to. Hey, Lauren. This is Lauren with the SBDC. Let's welcome Lauren. Hi,
There's a couple of
Lauren.
people still trying to find parking, so I can go.
Oh,
if you
okay.
want, yes.
Okay. All right, so if you've never thought about this, I really want you to think about that. But the bigger question is, this is one of those delayed things, Lauren, like we had the other day. This isn't going to be fun all day. Who do they think you are? What do I mean by they?
Customers.
Who else?
Your coworkers.
Yeah.
Coworkers,
employees.
yes.
Everyone that's not you.
Everyone that's not you, your community, right? And even your vendors, all of those other people. Who do they think you are? That's a little bit of a dilemma, isn't it? Do you know? How many of you have done surveys to your customers? Yes? So you get a little bit of feedback every now and then? Yes? So we don't really know unless we've done those surveys, right? Or even juxtapose it to who we think we are ourselves. If you're really wanting conscious strategic branding and the difference that makes, and you want to tap into what makes you truly different, say, I do.
I do.
I do, yes. You want to attract the right clients faster?
Yep.
I do. Turn loyal clients into advocates who refer you, right? Align with what you do with who you are. Say, I do.
I do.
Does nobody want to do this? All right. Connect with customers at a deeper level.
I do.
Great, thank you. Truly own your distinction in the minds of your market. I do.
I do.
Become known as the go-to expert, gentlemen. I do. Yes.
I feel like I'm at a wedding.
Be known. Do you have a ring? Be known to deliver on your marketing promises. Are you known to be delivering on your marketing promises? And to craft on-brand, aligned social media and marketing copy.
I do.
Who here thinks that they're the best kept secret and wants to get more out there? Yes? Turn to your neighbor and give them a high five and say, I do!
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Let's talk about,
All of them
the real cost of marketing really quickly. I'm front loading this, most of this programming because it's important that we get on the same page in understanding what brand is and what marketing is. So I'm going to front load that before we get into some of the meat of the place. Looking for a spot? Great, welcome. Thank you. Oh, can I get you to sit over here then? We've got information right here.
Okay.
For you.
I'm moving different direction.
That's all right.
Center you up.
That's all right. I won't pick on you too much. All right. So it's $679 billion in U.S. ad spend in 2021. That's the latest I could find. $679 billion. How many of you had spent time, money, and effort in marketing this year so far? Absolutely. So you're a part of this $679 billion, and probably a lot more than that this year. Excuse me. I think it likes me over here better. 98.5% of ad spend results in ads that do not get remembered positively. What?
Super Bowl ads.
What? Yeah. Wow, that's just blows my mind. So only 10 billion is highly effective. So how many of you want to switch that around? And is there a way to do that?
Who came
Yes.
up with that stat?
Dentsu.
Okay.
Wait, have you spent a lot of money in marketing, or is it hard to believe?
I'm just
or-
curious that only 1.5% is worth spending.
Well, there's a reason for that, and that's why we're gonna talk about that. So, 669 billion in your advertising spend has been ineffective. So what is happening out there? What's going on? What's going on with you? What's happening?
We're just so inundated.
You're inundated as a consumer.
Yes.
Yes.
And if we're inundated, everyone else is inundated as well.
Right. We're human beings, right? We get over 60,000 messages per day that we have to sift through all of our senses. That's crazy. It's just crazy out there. So what is happening here? So the question is, oh yeah, on top of the previous advertising statistic, 40% of that 10% of highly effective marketing dollars are wasted due to demotivated, ill-informed staff undermining the promotional promise. So those of you who have staff out there and you're marketing out there and you're getting customers in the door and your staff is not aware of what you're saying out there and what you're promising to deliver on, and they're not living that brand promise, what happens to your marketing dollar?
Goes down the drain.
Goes down the drain. Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems is we as companies don't even update our own cultures and employees in understanding what it is we're delivering on or what it is we're actually saying out there that we do, that we're promising to deliver on. So that's another piece of waste. It's crazy. So short of making our customers buy, what do we do? Do we spend more money in marketing? Let's put another 10,000 out there. Let's drop another 100 grand in the mail. Hey, let's do PO boxes dropped. Let's do door to door. Let's buy some zip codes, right? What's wrong with what I'm saying there as suggestions?
It's mostly overpriced attention.
It's overpriced attention. Yeah, it's junk. It means it's untargeted. When you're buying these zip codes, it's totally untargeted. It's totally unpersonal. No relationship there whatsoever, right? So your dollar's not gonna have any ROI whatsoever. So we're not gonna go market. So what do? If we're not gonna spend more in marketing and our marketing dollars aren't working, what do?
We come to you.
You come here, right? Yes.
I think it's all about your messaging too in the marketing thing. So you could buy every postcard and send them out to everybody and say, free, 2023 Forerunner for everybody that shows up. And your marketing's gonna be pretty damn good. It's your messaging that matters.
Are you gonna
more
make
than
any money
anything.
with that free thing?
No, not at all. But it's gonna be effective marketing
Sure.
as opposed to,
Sure.
saying, hey, come in and get 2% off something. It's like, what's in it for the customer?
Exactly. And they generally have to see a message how many times, Alex, before they buy?
16 to 24.
Yeah. These days, it used to be 7 to 10, right? About 20 years ago.
Social media's changed that.
Oh, for sure. We are so inundated with messages, and the noise out there is crazy. So how can you become the go-to brand in your industry? You have to out-behave your competition. Have you ever heard of that term? Out-behave your competition? I want you to really think about what that means. Out-behave your competition. We're going to talk about level 1 and level 2 differentiation here when it comes to brand, and this is a big one. Out-behaving your competition. So I'm going to show you a quick video as to what I mean by this.
Good evening, folks. Welcome aboard Southwest Airlines.
Anybody fly Southwest?
72 service to Oklahoma City. Those of you that have flown us before know that we do things a little bit differently here on Southwest. Some of us tell jokes, some of us sing, some of us just stand there and look beautiful. I, unfortunately, can do none of those. So here's the one thing that I do know how to do. We're going to shake things up a little bit. I need a little audience participation. Otherwise, this is not going to go over well at all. So here's what I need, especially you guys in the front, because you know what's coming. All right, I need a beat. All right. All I need you to do is stomp and clap, and I'm going to do the rest, because I've had 5 flights today, and I just cannot do the regular boring announcement again. Otherwise, I'm going to put myself to sleep. So, you guys with me? All right. So give me a stomp, clap, clap. Come on, stomp, clap, clap. They don't be there. There you go. Keep that going. This is flight 372 on SWA. The flight attendants on board serving you today. Teresa in the middle, David in the back. My name is David, and I'm here to tell you that shortly after takeoff, first things first, there's soft drinks and coffee to quench your thirst. But if you want another kind of drink, then just holler. Alcoholic beverages will be $4. If a Monster Energy drink is your plan, that'll be $3, and you get the whole can. We won't take your cash, you gotta pay with plastic. If you have a coupon, then that's fantastic. We know you're ready to get to new places. Open up the bin, put away your suitcases. Carry on items, go under the seat in front of you, so none of you have things by your feet. If you have a seat on a roll with the exit, we're gonna talk to you, so you might as well expect it. You gotta help evacuate in case we need you. If you don't wanna, then we're gonna reseat you. Before we leave, our advice is put away your electronic devices. Fasten your seatbelt, then put your trays up. Press the button to make the seat back raise up. Sit back, relax, have a good time. It's almost time to go, so I'm done with the rhyme. Thank you for the fact that I wasn't ignored. This is Southwest Airlines. Welcome aboard.
Now look at this guy's face. Complete energy shift.
Thank you very much for my feed. I
Because he
appreciate that. You
outbehaved
will
the
not get that on
competition.
United Airlines.
That's what I'm talking about. These guys have value construct around outrageous service with fun-loving attitude. Employees first. They hire employees who are creative, and they let them do their creativity to make it a great experience. That's their brand. That's their value position. That's what they love. They're all about love. So they're always encouraging self-expression with their employees. And they actually, when they hire people, they have a team of other employees that are pegged to actually interview and hire them, but in secret. The new employee doesn't even know that they're being looked at in that way and being interviewed. And so they're ranking and rating them as they walk through the whole interview process just on the fly. It's very interesting. They empower their own employees to do that, to help them make sure that they're good fits, right? It's a lot of fun. They have this thing called the value zone, where they have marked off in certain areas within the space of the airport and the space of their offices that are true value zones that they have to kind of turn it on and really focus in on those core values and style attributes. Is that fun? That's pretty fun. So challenges of brand differentiation. How many of you have challenges differentiating yourself from your competition? Yes? Put your hand up. Some? Yeah. I mean, talk about your industry, right? How saturated is it?
I think I've heard there's other real estate agents in town.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I'm surprised there isn't. Are there any other real estate agents in this room? Wow. That's pretty good.
Often.
You've got the floor, man.
They're all financial.
Well, let's talk about this challenge. This is level 1 stuff, right? You cannot compete on just features. How many of you have features that right now are different than your competition? A little bit different. Your product or the service. Okay, great. So you have some. Why do I say not for long?
Because they might catch up to you.
As soon as they're popular and they know you're growing from that particular thing, they're going to be copied. Yes? Right. That's a challenge. Market saturation. You know, barrier to entry in terms of building a business or starting a business is the lowest it has ever been. So many people are starting businesses, right? So you've got this market saturation in so many different industries. How many of you are feeling that saturation? Yes? Great. Deal ready? What industry are you in?
I run a board game store.
Oh, wow, that's different. Thanks for coming. All right, over time, competitors become more similar. Why is that?
Because they learn. They're paying attention, they should be learning.
Yes, and they're watching you, right? And so when we say, how many of you go out to get best practices and learn best practices from other industry experts, right? We all think that that's a good thing to do. But over time, what happens?
Everybody's the same.
Conformity, right? Everybody's the same. So the question is how are you going to get out of that sameness, right? Sameness. I think I just coined a term.
Trademark, can't have it.
Yes, trademark right away. So radical differentiation is one of the ways that you can begin to cut through that sameness. But it's seen as very risky. And so many people aren't willing to take that risk, spend money, time, and effort to take that risk to be so very different. How many of you have felt like you have done that in your industry? Nobody. So we've got some challenges here in differentiation, don't we? Thoughts, concerns, comments so far? What are you thinking about?
Trying to figure out what my boss has been doing, you know.
Well, how does it relate to this?
Yeah.
Like, you mean in creating differentiation?
Yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, he's not there as often. He's trying to get there more often and stuff, but I'm trying to figure out what he's wanting, how he's wanting to make us a brand. I know he's been talking about it, but being the employee, it's a little bit different for me to sort of try to figure out, you know, from what our conversations have been and different things. So it's, yeah.
So you wish he was here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Can I
Next
share
time.
Sorry, you talk about branding, so let's say you're on social media, so you post pictures and talk about all these events that you're going to, like today. Your comp's gonna see that. So the risk there is then they're gonna start to do what you're doing and we become in that same pool. So how do we then differentiate?
Always evolve. Is that what you're thinking? Like always be evolving
Always
to something.
be evolving. Yes, but evolving in radical ways. Like looking at other industries and see what they're doing and how does this apply to my industry? How can I infuse something like that into my industry that's unheard of, right? Things like that. So you were talking about, you know, putting stuff on social media and getting yourself out there, but you referred to that as branding.
Well, I was just using the terminology. I mean, for me, it's being in the community and being involved in the community.
Okay. That is a function of marketing. We're going to talk about that. So that's the other great thing about this particular program is that you're really going to get clear on the difference between the function of marketing and the process of branding, okay? And once you're clear on that, you'll be able to leverage both of them to do what you're wanting it to do and create that ROI you're looking for. Does that make sense? Is that something you guys want? Yes?
Yeah.
You excited about that? Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate that. So radical differentiation, I want to see that in your brain right now. That you should really, when we talk about stepping outside of the box, but what does that really mean in your industry? If you had an ad and I took away your logo and your brand colors, your name, and you still had that ad, would people still be able to say that was you? Think about that. You know, you remember the old style Coca-Cola bottles that were so unique and tangible? If you broke a Coca-Cola bottle and you picked up a piece, would people be able to tell what that was?
Possibility.
Yes, they would. Because it was so unique and so different. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Right now, hi Michaela, how are you? So right now, our brains are so conformed to thinking so sameness about what other people are doing. We've got to get out of that box, literally, and start thinking differently and getting more creative. And there's a way to drive that. And that's what we're going to talk about today, and that's brand. Really understanding who you are as brand. Right. All right, so let's talk about this. This is my favorite subject. I almost have to have this in every single program I talk about. Even personal brands, even personal brand leadership, everything I talk about in terms of all things branding, I have to front load it with this information. So you guys know we're all on the same page. So your logo is not your brand. So what is it? What is a brand? Alex, you can't say anything. Lori can't say anything. What is your brand? Do you know what your brand? Do you know what a brand is? You probably do.
Well, it's all the attributes that people associate with the product or service or the person.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
The promise that you make
Yes.
with that product, service, or person.
Yes. Yes. So I'm going to simplify this definition, and this is in your handout, so make sure you fill this out. It seems like if I walk away from this, it's not going to
Turn your computer towards you.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say turn it.
great.
Ah,
I think this is sensors on the front.
Thank you. Thank you. So your brand, it's a graphic symbol. Or, I'm sorry, your logo is a graphic symbol that over time triggers a memory of an experience or a perception that your customer, employee, and community has had with you. So it's just a placeholder that now when I look at this, I'm not buying Coca-Cola because I love a ribbon red font and that sold me on this brand versus Dr. Pepper or Mountain Dew or whatever else, right? This isn't the brand. This brand, after I drink a Coca-Cola, is giving me that sensation and an experience, whether I like it or not, now triggers that memory of, ooh, I didn't like that. It was too syrupy. It was too this, too that. Or, oh, I love that. I gotta have me a Coke. I gotta have that caffeine, right? So your logo, if you take out your business card, you ever want to have a business card on them?
Yes.
Let me take out your business card real quick for me. We're kind of at a semi-quasi networking event, so you should have your business cards on you. Take a look at your business card. I want everybody to turn to your neighbor, point to your business card logo, and say, "That's not my brand. That's not my brand." How does that make you feel?
Like a liar.
Like a liar. Why does it make you feel like a liar, Justin?
Because that is my brand.
What is it? What is it supposed to mean?
It is marketing that stands out.
Can I see her?
Sure.
Tall boy marketing. You do stand out. That's great. So when I'm networking with people and they realize that I'm a brand consultant, they come up to me and say, hey, we just rebranded. Take a look at my logo, right? What do you think? They say. I'm like, what do you want me to think? Is what I said. You know, I'm like, this is great. It's a black and red logo. My logo is black and red as well. I like the font. It's kind of attractive. It's interesting. I like the silhouette. That's interesting to look at. But I have no idea what it's like to work with this man. I have no idea what his brand actually is, and any of yours either. So personally, as a brand consultant for 30 years, I don't care what your logo looks like. I know a lot of you spend a lot of money on getting that logo just right. But until you understand how you're going to behave in the experience that you have with your customers, that you have a desired experience, and that they actually receive that desired experience, so there's congruency here, your brand doesn't mean anything. Sorry to pop your bubble. But literally, your look and feel could be anything. And I will attach my experience memories on that particular logo design, on that graphic symbol. So does that make sense? I'm not buying Dunkin' Donuts because I have an affinity for pink and orange. I love pink and orange. I love it. I love hot coffee. I'll drive by Starbucks and go to Dunkin' Donuts because I love the logo. Doesn't make any sense. So your logo is not your brand. So what the heck is your brand?
Everything else that comes after.
Everything else that comes after it or before it, right? Yes. So what memory or feeling is your logo symbol triggering with your current customers? List 2 adjectives that you're wanting your logo to trigger, of course, after they've had an event with you. What are those 2 words you want them to think about? Like, oh, there's that brand. There's that Barbara brand. I love her. She's so smart. She's so cool. She's so intelligent. She speaks articulately. She loves her job. Things like that. So let's talk about what a brand is. Who can tell me in just really quick terms, based on what I just told you, that your logo's not your brand? What is a brand then? Can you put it in words? Justin?
It's kind of being known before you're needed and what your brand is all about. I mean, it's the epitome of your business, basically, like to its core. Like what it is. It's not selling something, it's not marketing something, it is your actual brand is what you're about.
It's hard to describe, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the word brand, is that innately good? No. Can people have a bad brand?
Yes.
Okay, so if brand were bad, do you want that to be the epitome of your business? Right? So the word brand, right? What is it? It has to be neutral because it can be good, bad, or indifferent, right? So the way I describe it is that it's simply a perception, or maybe a set of perception, but the gestalt of the end experience, right? The gestalt of the end experience. It lives in the minds of you, preferably, but not always, of you, your employees, and customers. So the reason why I say preferably you, if you're the business owner, if you're the personal brand, the reason why I say that is because oftentimes so many business owners haven't even thought about the perceptions that make up what they want to be known for. Personal brands haven't done the work to identify, define, and align themselves to who they want to become known for. So oftentimes it only lives in the people outside of themselves And that could be chaos, right? Because it could be something different in every different situation, a different set of perceptions based on how good of a chameleon you are in networking or working in a job or being a mom or being a wife or a husband. It's just like, do you feel like you change your modality, you change your mode of who you are when you're in different circumstances? I have a lot of clients that come to me and say, I'm exhausted because I have to be this over here and I have to be this over here and I have to be this over here. I'm like, well, we're going to fix that. So we're going to figure out what you want to become known for and authentically who you are. And then we're going to infuse that into everything that you do. So anybody like the 7-Eleven coffees? Anybody stop for 7-Eleven coffees? They have 7-Elevens around here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandson works at one.
Yeah. Just stop in and get I don't know, what are they now? $3? They used to be 50 cents, for a styrofoam cup of weak coffee. Or would you rather have something that's, a little bit more luxurious, elite, has a more known to be customization, richer coffee, different flavors of coffees. You get a choice doing this and putting this in there. I just had one today. They were out of pistachio flavor. So I'm like, okay, so I've got my second choice, is that free then? You go to Starbucks because you love something specific. And if they can't cater to that, I'm like, well, what are you going to do about it? But anyway, so questions on this. Is this interesting to you to see it in this angle? Your brand? Thoughts? Questions? What's going on?
So, I'm here because my boss, who's the owner, told me at 11 o'clock that I need to be here, so.
So you don't want to be here?
No, I do.
Are you glad you're here now?
Yes,
Okay.
I kept telling him about branding and he doesn't get it. He thinks it's the same as your logo or your marketing. And he's like, I spent money on that. And I keep explaining to him, like, branding is kind of your business's personality. This is how people perceive you and interact with you is based on your brand. And so when you look at a Starbucks cup of coffee, their personality is consistency and quality versus 7-Eleven where some will add more water or more beans or something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can go to a Starbucks here in town, then I can get on a plane and go to Japan, and then I could order the same thing I ordered, it's the same thing. Then I could go fly to New York and it's the same thing, and Germany and it's the same thing, right? They are kings at consistency. Consistency builds trust. Trust creates history. History forms tradition, and tradition builds rituals. And when your brand becomes a ritual, it's the upper echelon of brand. You're done, right? It's like when what is that term, Alex? When like a product like Kleenex, gets trademarked because that is a coined term.
It becomes a norm.
A norm, household name. Yep. It loses its power in the federal government trademark. Right? So that's like a wish for all brands to be a household name, but then you lose your power in it, right? Think about that.
Band-Aid does that, right? It's
Who
not
does?
Band-Aid. It's not. When you say
Band-Aid,
Band-Aids,
yes.
they're not actually all
That's
considered
right.
Band-Aids.
Yes. Yes. They call that
Xerox did?
yeah, Xerox did. Yes. Yes. So I was looking up coined terms the other day, and there's a word, Egolianism. Have you heard that word, Alex? Egolianism? I'll have to look that up. But that's a word for those types of things that become almost, you could put them in the dictionary now because they become part of our vernacular, right? Part of our vocabulary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going back to this example, I think it's real interesting because, like, I grew up in Seattle where Nordstrom used to, have a very distinct brand that drives my husband batty. But anyway, this last trip up there over spring break, my mom hadn't been in one of their stores for years, just COVID or everything else. And like, I remember when I was a sales director with Mary Kay, and I'd go up to Park Meadows and I would be dressed up, and the guy selling me shoes would like have a 3-piece suit on and a tie and everything. And then we were in Nordstrom's in Seattle a couple weeks ago, and now all these, like, this sales guy, I look over to the men's department and he's like wearing jeans with like a button down and a tie, and and like our salesmen, I mean, so like their personalities really haven't changed, but I thought it was interesting in that area, they're now dressing differently because of their clientele.
Yeah.
And they're still trying to maintain that customer service, but from someone who grew up with that different like perception of how they dress. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that was a
it's-
contrast
it's
for you. It was
very-
almost
it was
incongruent.
weird,
Yeah.
You know, and even my mom was like looking at me like I was nuts, but like, I don't know. I guess you have to be in marketing to like notice things like that too.
Well, you can see then they really pay attention to the shift of their markets, right? But they're still, the good news is that they're still retaining that
Their
eloquence
Right.
and the demeanor and all of that great stuff that's really who they are. Yeah, great. Thanks for that insight. That's interesting. Very good. Very good. All right. So a brand is just a perception, right? Yes. So it's based on emotion and defined by your customers and employees' experience with you, your products and services. As a brand consultant, I work internally with organizations. We don't go outside externally at all until we understand who we are as a brand. So the first thing we have to do is flesh that out. We have to unpack those attributes that create the perceptions that are the desired perceptions of the organization, right? And then infuse those into the hearts and minds of their people, their leadership, and their systems and processes, so they can walk the talk and deliver on that promise. That is what a true internal brand consultant does. We don't touch marketing yet, at all. And in fact, I don't do much of marketing at all for my clients. I hand that off to a professional marketer, right? But now we have the information in order to do that. Branding creates the content for your marketing messaging. And if you haven't yet done the branding work, what are you marketing? Right? So 99% of you in this room, if you haven't done that work, you're not ready to go to market, in my opinion. Unless you enjoy ineffective advertising and spending money in advertising because you got to get something out there. You got to get butts and seats and people in the door. But it makes you feel good that you're doing something to make that happen, right? But it's a crapshoot. And until you really understand what you want them to feel, what you want to become known for, you cannot really do that effectively. To say the least, not consistently. Because you're going to be chasing the market. Companies that don't do brand work are chasing the client instead of the pull, the magnet of understanding who you are, presenting that consistently, and having people like your target markets get it, understand it, and want to pay you what you're worth. How many of you want to do that? Yes or yes? Let me hear ya. So I'm seeing a lot of churning here, a lot of processing. What's going on in your brains before I move on? What's happening? What are you thinking about? Like, oh crap, I'm not doing this right? Or I need to get clear on who I am as a brand. We got to understand that first. I got to tell my employees. I got to train them. We got to create processes around a core value construct so that we can show that we're actually living our values. Well, what a novel idea, right? It's interesting. But you can do it. Companies do it all the time. That's why we're here to do this. All right, so it's the brand perception is based on, how do we as human beings perceive? What are these symbols of? Our senses. Yeah. Have you ever thought about how your business smells? Does your business have a sound?
Sometimes.
Yes. Does it have a taste? Right? Does it have a feel? If you're a spa, what kind of feel do you want? Right? So think about that. Most businesses are not leveraging the senses. And that's a whole other workshop. But when you think about it, human beings, how many of you are human? Let's just want to make sure there's no AI in here. Human beings make decisions based on what?
Senses.
Yes. And we're not leveraging them. because we just haven't done the deep dive work. But when you do, when you uncover those core values, and you uncover your style attributes, and you know what makes you different, all of a sudden Pandora's box opens up and you know what you smell like, you know what you feel like, you know what you sound like. Because all those things create a picture, creates an experience, right? That's confined in a lane that you get to stay in now. Stay in that lane. Because consistency builds trust, right? Trust creates history. History forms tradition. Consistency is king when it comes to branding. Yes or
Did you
yes?
also say simplicity within that?
Mm-hmm. Simplicity for sure. You're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall anymore, right? You got a plan to stay within the confounds of your brand. That's what makes it so great, and that's what makes it so fun, right? You can now say, I'm on brand here, but I'm off brand here. You can discern differently at everything that you do in your business by saying, that's on brand, that's off brand. I'm gonna hire that person because they're on brand, right? This other person's not quite brand, right? You can say that now when you're clear. All right, so let's distinguish these few things. Two very important functions. So marketing, I'm gonna kind of zip through this a little bit because you guys are already, I think you're up to speed. Marketing is the process of communicating your brand's message. It's everything you do, this is real simplified, but it's everything you do to get it out there, right? It's all this stuff that people can see on the tree. Product packaging, product distribution, external communications, your brand name, advertising, the visuals, public relations, everything. So if that's marketing, then what is branding? Since branding with an ing. We know that a brand is what? A perception. So what is branding? It's the assignment of meaning to the perceptions you want others to have of you. So I am an expert then, as a brand clarity expert, I help my clients assign meaning to those perceptions they want to become known for. Bless you. That's all branding is. Again, it's not your logo design, but when you know the perceptions you want others to know you for, then it kind of brings to light. These colors are better if our personality is this. These fonts are better if our value construct is this. I mean, it all seems to come together now. Now you can formulate a brand visual, a logo design that speaks to that. But people don't know you until they know you. Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay to take a picture?
You can take a picture. Yes. Thank you for asking, my dear. So it's all of these things down below. You're building customer relationships. You're figuring out your brand values, your customer experience. You get to design customer experiences that fit that lane, right? Your brand standards, internal communications to your teams, knowledge management, business processes, recruitment, onboarding. It's all brand related. Branding is in your DNA. This is how important brand is before you go to market, right? Thoughts, questions, comments? Is this good stuff? Are you glad you're here? Okay, I just need some feedback. just know I'm on the right track. All right, so let's move forward. Good news and bad news. Why clarifying your brand matters. The good news is you guys already have a brand. You already had a brand. Cindy, you mentioned something earlier about your boss not knowing if he wants to be a brand or what his brand wants to be.
Well, no, I know he wants to be a brand.
He already is. Because what is a brand?
Perception.
Okay.
Yeah, and so how long have you been in business?
He has been there almost 3 years.
So as soon as he opened his doors under that particular name, what happens? People start, what? Starts with a P. People start perceiving, right? So they're building your brand for you if you're not in control of it.
Okay.
Right? So you have a brand no matter what, right? So what's the bad news? You already have a brand because it's just perception. You've got one in your mind and you've got one outside. I'll talk a little bit about that. Here's the question. Are you in control of it?
Yes.
Do you want to be in control of it?
Yes.
Yes, of course you do. The more control you can be in it, the more consistent you can be in it. And consistency builds what?
Trust.
Yes, absolutely. So become more conscious, strategic, and deliberate in your brand by getting crystal clear on it. And here's what I just talked about. We all have an internal brand. We know what we're doing inside. We know how our operations work. Those of you with employees, they all know what's going on. They understand the culture. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's there, right? They're experiencing it. Then we have to deal with is that external idea of what they're seeing. Remember the first question I asked you? Who do you think you are internally? Who do they think you are, right? So what are they thinking? The good news is generally there's some overlap. Phew, we've got some congruency here. But is that enough for you?
No.
Is it enough to build your brand from? Or be teased away by your competitor if it's only that much? Congruency in what they're thinking you are versus how you're showing up for them, right? So here's the deal. This is what we want to try to do. Your brand, you're crystal clear on it. You identify, define, and start aligning internally first before you spend another dollar in marketing, right? You get crystal clear. Then what happens? Everything you do starts creating a unique perception around that lane that you've designed, that you've carved out for yourself to become known for. That's how it's done. It starts internally. That's why it's called brand DNA, internally. So now we have a construct to operate from, to onboard, to train, to hire, to fire, right? To treat our clients with a customer experience around, design a customer experience around, and get really creative. Good news is 94% of your customers want to be loyal. How many of you finally find a vendor, ladies, I'll talk to you, you got this gal that knows your hair, and she's cutting your hair, and you're like, don't ever leave, please, don't ever leave, right? You find her, and all of a sudden she leaves, right? We want to stay loyal until she makes us go, right? That's the problem. The bad news, we inadvertently give them reasons not to be loyal or enable them to be indifferent. Enable them, meaning enabling your clients to be indifferent. And then they get teased away by your competitors. But the good news is that the statistics on our side. When I land on something, I'm too busy to go find another vendor. I want you to perform the way you're promising you will perform for me, right? I'm going to do everything I can to stay with you until I've had it. And I'm off finding another vendor. You know, the World Wide Web is global. You can find other vendors pretty easily. So think about that. The good news, bad news there. Another good news. 82% of your current clientele will pay more for better services and relationships. They'll pay more. They want that. They want that connection. That's kind of a secret sauce. What can you do to upgrade and up-level how you treat them? And it could be the littlest things. If you have ever been into a Starbucks, you notice they ask your name, right? They ask you about an experience. Hey, where are you going? Like, I pulled up through the drive-thru today. Hey, where are you going today? You look great. I'm like, I'm going up to Monument to do a presentation. Oh, that sounds wonderful. You know, we just had a conversation. What's the bad news in this? We tend to discount our prices versus increasing the value. That's the fastest way. We think we're going to get people in the door. But then guess what? What do you become known as? You become known as the low-cost leader in your industry. I'm just going to wait it out.
You're the dollar store of what you
Yeah. You know, and I'm not dogging the low-price leaders because they've got strategy. And they're there for a reason, and they know how to do it and still make profit, right? They know how to do it because of volume and that sort of thing. They've got all kinds of great strategy. That's great. But do you want to become the low-cost leader? No. So what can you do to begin to upgrade? What radical thing can you start doing that is totally outside of your industry that you can start doing that would turn heads? get people interested, and attract your perfect target market, right? You're shaking your head a lot.
Oh, I was just thinking of a year that I convinced one of the companies I was repping to do something a little outlandish, and it totally worked.
Totally work. Would you be willing to share real quick?
Yeah, we gave them a trip to Mexico if they signed up with us, if they referred us, if they did a 5-star review. These were all creating entries into this drawing at the end of the year to send them to Mexico. The owner had a timeshare down there and let them use,
Nice.
and it just went like wildfire.
So it was a soft dollar for you guys to expend, yes.
Yeah.
And did you then continue to nurture those people that signed up and
Oh, yeah.
wanted to win? And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So
beautiful.
we were always calling to
Good
say,
job.
thank you, that's awesome, if you have some more, I'd love to put you in more.
Mhm.
You know, and they just, referrals just went.
Oh, they can do it again.
So,
Yeah, every referral and every referral was a new entry into it. For a chance to win.
so let's say that was I would say that's a great marketing tactic.
Right.
But the brand consultant in me, and Alex, you might be, and Lauren might be thinking about this too, would say, how relevant was that prize to your brand? You know, so thinking about doing something like that with something super relevant.
Right.
What is it that you do?
Corn tortillas. No, I'm just kidding.
Roofing company said that,
Okay. You think more radically next time even,
but more in our lane.
more in your lane. That would be more congruent. Yes.
And I knew that, hearing that, I was like, well, I knew you were gonna say that too. But the point was, that year we were thinking, how can we do something different that everybody else is not doing?
Right, for sure,
And that's
sure.
what we
If
did.
it worked, it worked. That's
worked.
great. But long term, and I think it would be even more beneficial because of for the congruency to happen. Yeah, that's great. Thanks
Well,
for sharing.
And to what you said earlier, guess what happened the next year?
They're looking for that?
No, the other companies were offering.
Oh, of
trips at the
course.
end of the year.
Right, right.
So
Now it's a commodity.
It worked the 1 year.
Oh,
but
I
after that, we're like,
already put in my,
yeah.
I already put in my thing over at your other competitor, so I'm gonna win that one.
Yeah, they're sending me over to Europe.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the brand DNA formula, just so we can have a context here. In this formula, we're identifying and defining our core values, brand style attributes, which is a collective personality of the organization, so these are attributes. We take a deep dive into your brand differentiators, going down to the quantifiable level of your differentiators. We build a set of standards of performance. We're not talking about that today. That's a much deeper area where we're creating improvements and standards along a platform. We build out your brand platform and mantra and brand why and promise. So we make this tangible. This is all just like surface stuff, right? Then we go in and make it tangible by infusing it into your systems and processes, culture, behaviors, and leadership. This is the secret sauce. This is what now becomes your brand. Is every brand ambassador, every employee, every person that is a stakeholder in your business becomes on brand. So we're going to just touch on a little bit of core values and differentiators in this last section here today. So this is a great quote. I use it all the time, and we've already kind of talked about it, but I want to just share it with you. I think it's in your handout. In the absence of a distinctive brand experience, so without any distinction, like you're just like everybody else, basically. I walk in your brick and mortar door, and you're just like everybody else. What happens here in that absence? I think I heard someone say it. It goes, price becomes the default in your customer's purchase decision. When there's no distinction, I'm going to shop you on price. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's how important this is to create distinction and consistency in your distinction. So let's talk about level 1 differentiation real quick. These are the 8 top most used strategies. And they're good until they're not. Right? Because we talked a lot about the challenges of differentiation, but you guys could probably go out or create something soon or very quickly by any of these 8. Being first at something. What can you claim you're the first at? Does somebody have a claim in that right now, here in this group? Can you claim something that you're the first at? No? Okay, well think about that. Attribute your leadership in your market, innovation, etc. This is good, but you have to back this up with surveys, with statistics, with data. You can't just go out there and say you're the leader in something without people questioning that and you backing it up. So this might take just a little bit of time, but you can find a bunch of different things that you can be a leader in. Be the preferred provider. So like, let's say if someone is in manufacturing and they do products for dentists, they can go after a lot of the local dentists and give them some test drives of this product and then become a preferred provider for those local dentists and get them on camera, right, as testimonials. That's what I'm talking about. Heritage. Who here has a really unique story? I mean, you know, you came from, you know, maybe another country, you started this business. Anybody familiar with Chobani? Humandi Ula Kaya is his name. Wow, what a great story. I use him a lot in another workshop that we do on differentiation. He has made this company have such a social impact and has changed the lives of so many people from manufacturing yogurt and super milk products. He works with American Red Cross and disaster relief and all these things. So he's got a huge value construct. It's just amazing. If you ever want to know what a really good, he's my new poster brand company that I use a lot. Go to his website, Chobani, and check out what they're doing. That's a great, unique story. Cause, align your brand with a specific cause. How many of you are philanthropic in your business? Yes, that's a big part. How many of you are talking about that? Are you leveraging that in your marketing materials, on your website, etc.? If you are, you've got to showcase that. Become specialized for highly targeted market. I love niches. I'm a big fan of niching. So if any of you feel like you're in a commodity market space, really start thinking about niching. And if you're a new company and you've got all these ideas about all these specific products and you don't know where to begin, start where you know best, and your most expertise is, build out that product, get proof of concept, and start building other products around it once that gets popular, because that can help really begin to build and scale your business. It happens with Apple, right? Apple started with that one tiny little box, right? And now they're putting thousands of songs in your pocket, with all kinds of little things. So going out into phones, I mean, you have to create that proof of concept. And then make your products in a special way. Coors Brewery, they walked the camera through the process of brewing, and they were like the first ones in their industry to show the actual process on film in a commercial. And once that happens, and that they use the fresh Rocky Mountain water, boy, that catapulted their brand, because we lean into story, right? We like that sort of thing as human beings. It's a big gestalt of sensory stimulation. Coin a term or phrase. We were talking about that earlier. Did you know that the word nerd was created by Dr. Seuss? He coined that term, nerd. I don't know, I just found that out. Anyway, do you have a fun name? Like Skype is a coined word, right? That becomes household. Kleenex we were talking about earlier. A way of doing things you could coin and make that go viral. A special product that you want to trademark, that could go viral. All kinds of different things. Is this making sense? Some good ideas? Okay, great. We're kind of running out of time. I think I'm going to skip over this. You want to see it?
I'm a fan.
Oh, you are? All right. We may not be able to finish, but I'll do it.
You don't deserve to be in the restaurant business. You really don't. What about this beer thing? Oh my gosh, jeez. It just tastes like ground up baby food. It has no flavor whatsoever. It just tastes like somebody opened a can of tomatoes and poured it on it. Who makes the sauce?
Joey, actually.
Joey the dishwasher?
Yes.
I'm currently doing dishes, but I don't want to stay doing that. I'm working on being a blind cook. I make the sauce.
Joey in the dishwasher makes the sauce that you serve that you don't cook. I'm looking at this pile of food right now, and all I see is a pile of problems. Honestly, the plates are too small. The food looks like just dumped on a plate. There's no focus of the protein. Is there anything on this table that you're proud of? I'm proud of it all. What do you mean proud of it all? What are you? You're proud of this? You're serving this crap. If I look at the overall picture, everything here, from the menus to the food to the decor, is totally unappealing, flat, old, tasteless. If I was in charge here, you'd both be fired right now. This is not a restaurant. This is a fast food frozen outlet, and not a good one at that. This is a remoulade sauce. That is just pure garlic. This is supposed to be the liver pudding. On a scale of 1 to 10, this will be a -10.
Anybody watch these besides?
Yeah.
They're pretty funny. So notice that, he didn't go in there and say, hey, you just need to beef up your marketing, right? You need to spend a little bit more in this neighborhood to get people in the door, right? He really focused on that internal experience, on what this restaurant was trying to accomplish, and they were like oblivious to what was actually happening. So I just thought that was a fun example. What exactly are the perceptions you want to be known for? Another key question. So what's the one word Apple owns in its market in terms of perception of who they are within their industry? What's the one word you think? I? What does that I stand for though? Do you know?
Information.
No. Innovation. Innovation. They own that word in their industry. Anybody been to a Cirque du Soleil event? Yes. What do they own in the entertainment industry? Close. Theater. They own theater in the circus industry, right? FedEx. What's the one word they own in the delivery industry?
Overnight.
Yes. Yes. Anybody old enough to know this company? Oh. Yeah.
Scandal.
Scandal. They own that in their industry. Now they do. Yes, absolutely. So here's the question. What one word do you want to own in the minds of your market? In your industry. Think about that. In your industry. What stands out for you? So the real missing piece is tangibility. I keep harping on that. If you're not making your brand attributes actionable and tangible, then your brand is just a marketing gimmick. It's all talk to your customer base. It's a meaningless logo, and it's just lipstick on the pig. Right? So until you identify and define what these attributes mean for you, and then infuse them into your actions and behaviors and your customer service experience, you're just a commodity. So the plan is then to get your brand DNA clarified and then infuse it into these 4 buckets: your customer bucket, your process bucket, financial bucket, and employee bucket. These are all areas that you have so much opportunity to infuse this information into and just change how you operate. This is level 2 brand infusion, is what I call. So this is how you outbehave your competition. Are you ready to do that? We've got about 20 minutes left, so I'm going to rush through this a little bit. I want you to take, who are my solopreneurs? Oh, I hope I brought enough. Okay, I've got 2. I don't think I only brought 5. But this is part of your handout. Okay, this is part of your handout. Go ahead and take 2 minutes to start filling this out, and I'm going to give the solopreneurs something else. The handout, which speaks more directly to you. Can I give you one now? To make a copy. Yeah. I would make 2 or 3 copies. Yeah. You, and you, okay. And then we have another one over here. You. So maybe she'll make 2 more. I think I told her 2 more copies. Are you a solopreneur? Okay, so I need 2 more copies. And another one? You too? Okay. So give us a minute. This will just, this is kind of a tool, a baseline tool. Did you guys not get that? Where is it? There it is. That's it. Do you see that assessment tool? The brain behavioral assessment tool? I'm not going to collect these, so please answer them as honest as possible. It's only going to help you understand where your gaps are. Great. Let's give you a few minutes on that. Thank you. Pass that around. Get business cards if you can. I'll have drawing. I'm passing around a little tiny bucket for a drawing for one of my books.
I don't have a business card.
Is there a name tag that we could? Yeah, I can name it. Or you can put your name on just a piece of paper. Maybe take it from your table tab. You have an idea?
I was just wondering if I should put it because I already own one of you.
Oh. You can pay it forward if you want. I'm just gonna do that on the DNA. Give me about another 30 seconds. Thank you, dear. Yes, you may.
We've been talking about branding, right, perception, but I keep thinking of this like real logos. So initially, that logo will give the customer an initial perception on what they think the Essence does. So how do you balance that out, would you say, with an entrepreneur? Does that make sense, what I'm asking?
Well, a lot of times, like, I'll just give this example because it's easy. If you see the Google logo and you've never experienced Google before, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
Right? So it really doesn't explain, it doesn't always explain what the business does.
Correct.
A byline might explain what it does, or a tagline might explain what it is. But, and sometimes a graphic symbol might give you a clue. But that's not really, not really the way I would even recommend marketing, just thinking that you're throwing your business cards out there or your logo out there, hoping to get business, you want to be much more targeted than that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but again, just initial perception, they'll start there with something, assuming, and then to
Yeah,
what you've
you
been
know
saying.
what, if your logo might be, green and blue, and I hate green, you know what I mean? So what does that tell you? I mean, it has nothing to do with your business, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it can be as ridiculous as that, you know, I just don't like those colors, or I'm put off by that color combination.
Yeah.
So, I just, Alex, do you have any comments on this? Cause
I do.
I don't have a big feel for.
No, that's okay.
Pressure.
Basically, your logo is an icon, and to Susan's point, if you look at a logo, there is no connection to it whatsoever, so you're not gonna have that. Now, if you put your logo in a publication, that publication starts to build your identity, because you have it there. It's like if you go to a bar, if you go to different locations, it starts to build it from there. Most logos just aren't out there free floating, so it's within context, right? Within context of your ad, within context of me handing my business card to you, that sort of thing. So the idea being is you want to build upon your logo and the story behind it and what it represents.
Yeah, I was just curious for an entrepreneur. I mean, for myself, I work for Central Learning Point, and that's out of my control.
Yeah.
So the branding definitely is important. You know,
Yeah, and that company is set up part of the brand for you. Now, you may be able to add personalization to that, which is part of the brand, the company, and if the company's doing it properly, they're helping you.
Yeah, I work with personal brands all the time under real estate institutions, Remax and Century 21, and you know they've got this big brand, but the personalization of that is so key and important. So great question. Thank you for answering. Did we answer it?
Yeah, for sure. I was just curious, again, because that's out of my control, but, you know,
Yeah.
like I work with a lot of small to mid-sized businesses and just know a lot of entrepreneurs, so, and I think to your point, their first thought is, I gotta get a logo. You know, and it's,
Right.
so this is great, just to understand, you know, again, what is the perception, what is the feeling, but it is about experience and, because at the end of the day, you talk about real estate, usually there are a lot of financial advisors in this room.
There's like
At the end of the day, a lot of us
Yeah.
do similar things, but people will make a choice, in my humble opinion, based on service, experience, the senses, like you described. That's what, it's like banking. I mean, credit users bank on everything.
If I saw,
They do, but if you work for Enron,
if I saw 7 real estate companies on business cards here, and I had to choose between, you know, who I was gonna work with without meeting you, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Your personality and the way you reflect who you are is going to change my mind
Agreed.
and make me select you or someone else, you know. It's the infusion of the meaning behind this icon,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah, great question. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right. What did this assessment tool do for you? What did it bring up?
It's like looking in a fluorescent mirror.
What was that? There's a what?
Areas of opportunity.
Areas of opportunity, yes. So it kind of exposed some challenges. Beautiful. What else?
No, I think the same, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Challenges to turn into opportunities.
Absolutely. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful. Got some work to do? A little bit of work to do? Yes? Awesome. All right, I'm going to move on, but I'm going to stick around for a few minutes afterwards if you guys want to chat or ask questions. I want to move this forward real quick. We've only got 10 minutes. Can anybody stay a little bit later? Little 10 minutes after? Is that okay? Is that cool? Yes? All right, I'm doing it. All right. We're going. All right, core values. They are super, super important. I have a whole process around developing core values, but not in this workshop. So I want you to think of one core value. What is one core value that you know you espouse that you want to focus on? Just so that you have some reference when I move into this other stuff. Core values are so important. Now that I have 10 extra minutes, I'm for this one too.
When we often talk about accountability in our society, we talk about
Oh, sorry.
when we often talk about accountability in our society, we talk about fiduciary accountability and responsibility. We talk about standards, no child left behind for education, for schools. We talk about all sorts of ethics tests that people need to take. It's basically checklists that we need to go through and see whether or not we've met some external standard of accountability. Those are all important to do. We can argue about them, but they're important to do. I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about a kind of accountability first and foremost. When you stand up before the mirror every morning and you're getting dressed for work to do what you're doing, and you look at yourself in the eye and you say, what promises have I made people? And am I living up to those promises? What claims can I make about my work? And are those claims real? Are they authentic? Are they truthful? Do they have integrity? I'm talking about whether or not we hold ourselves accountable for learning as we do our work, and whether or not as we learn things, we're willing to acknowledge that maybe we didn't know everything when we started, that maybe we have to change course, that maybe we have to tell people that we're changing course, that maybe when we do that we have to do it in public, not just among ourselves or to ourselves, that we hold ourselves to a standard of accountability as we do our work in public. These are all enormously important things to do. You know, we live in a society where our instinct, when someone asks us to be accountable, is to point fingers at each other, to place blame at each other's feet, even to hide from each other, to hide from ourselves, to hide from the truth, to hide from one another. I think what we need to do is to bring ourselves out into full light and hold ourselves accountable and be accountable, not just to the people who are watching us, but to ourselves. And if you want to think and act publicly, if you want a deep relationship with your community, if you want to be truly and genuinely authentic in the work that you're doing, you cannot do that if you do not hold yourself accountable to yourself first and foremost.
Very deep, right? These are core values. They don't mean anything unless you're accountable to them. And that's what making these tangible help you do, is being really accountable to them. So it enhances brand reputation, builds loyalty and trust, differentiates the brand, obviously, and shapes the company culture. So just being conscious of who you are as a brand is a differentiator in and of itself, because so many companies aren't doing this and paying real attention to who they are at the inside, from the inside out. So this is super important in terms of creating that, that secret sauce. And it guides your decision making. You know, is this on brand? Are we on value, on point here? Is making this hire right? Is partnering with this other firm good for us? Is it in alignment with who we say we are? All these decisions. So I'm not going to walk through. You guys know Patagonia, you know Nike, these core values that they have and what they're doing to make them tangible. Disney, what a great experience Disney has done in making things very consistent. And what's the one word they own in the, what do they call it, what do they call their parks, the amusement park industry? Magic. Magical and fantasy are two terms they own. When you think about it, no other park, amusement park, has that sense, the essence about that, right? That's radical differentiation. So I want to give you an example here so you can really begin to feel what tangibility looks like when you've identified and defined these attributes of your brand's DNA. This is a made-up company called the Zen Den. Calm, customized, calm, everyday wellness. It's a catchy, modern, and inviting name that reinforces affordable, everyday self-care in a cozy, customizable setting. So that's what they're all about. So we're going to just take a look at, this is level 2 differentiation. So this takes a little bit more time, but it'll give you a sense of what you can do with words and turn them into behaviors, right? So their brand values and style attributes are customization, affordability, community, and self-care. What do we do with that? And we're in the bucket. Remember those 4 areas I was talking about in the internal when you're designing your brand DNA and you fuse it into those 4 buckets? This bucket is your employee and culture bucket. So what do we do with these words to make this real? Well, let's come up with certified self-care specialists. Right? What does that mean? It means they can get their employees certified in certain areas of the spa treatments. I want to pull this out because I want to read some of the back end stuff. Train employees beyond standard spa services, educating them in holistic wellness, stress management, and personalized care plans. Find your perfect therapist, matchmaking. Offer a short quiz to pair clients with the ideal massage therapist or esthetician based on preferences needed. Relaxation rituals for staff. They're thinking about their staff. How are they getting self-care, right? So implement daily mini self-care breaks for employees, reinforcing a culture of wellness and making the team happier and more engaged. A signature scent experience. Feature employees on social media sharing their personal care routines and spa tips, building connection and trust with clients. So some of your experts or certified employees can be featured on their page on Facebook, showcasing their worth, basically, and their expertise. So do you get that idea of what they're able to like pull from and make tangible with just these few words? Self-care ambassador program. Feature employees, that's featuring employees on their personal self-care. The other one, the signature scent, was every staff member wears a light spa-branded essential oil blend that creates a consistent, recognizable sensory brand experience. Yes. So they dug deep. I mean, they played with this a little bit, and I would also suggest you can go on AI and ask the right prompts with the right values and style attributes, and come up with all kinds of things based on your company and your model, right? How you operate. So under processes, is a little more boring, but when you think about it, and you have processes that align with your brand, it's really powerful for the experience. Train employees beyond standard spa services, educate. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the right one. I'm not going to go through all these, I'm just going to show you a few of them. Membership-based wellness subscription. Offer an affordable, because they're all about affordability, monthly self-care program with customizable services, ensuring regular relaxation at lower costs. Express spa treatments, AI-powered skin and stress analysis, using a quick digital consultation tool to assess skin health. Self-care to-go kits. I mean, so many great ideas that they're going to start implementing. And then you've got your customer experience bucket. Choose your spa soundtrack. They can come in and pick their music that they want to hear. Sensory customization, first-time visitor customer welcome package, post-treatment self-care plan, secret surprise perks for new customers. And then financial, what do we do in the financial area? They have a day where they invite people to pay what you can, community days, right? That is, showcases their core values, self-care, scholarship funds, sustainable spa initiatives, affordable self-care workshops, and partner with local mental health crisis clinics. So all these things are really powerful in what they're doing to live their brand. I want you to think of these three terms in these ways to help you separate them in your brains. I want you to think about marketing as simply attracting the right client. I want you to think about sales as actually closing the deal and convincing that you are the one to solve their problem. And branding, I want you to think about as experiencing. Like, what do you want them to experience and walk away with? Does that help clarify and make better sense? Awesome. Attracting, convincing, experiencing. Now, I want to know, what was your golden nugget? What do you keep thinking about in your mind after this presentation? What do you have to do? How are you thinking differently about your brand, and what will you take action on? Who can answer one of these questions for me? Mm-hmm.
Outbehave, I think was the thing that struck me the most.
Okay.
How do I outbehave?
Do you have some ideas?
Oh, I have ideas.
Good.
You don't want to tell everybody.
Oh, I gotta keep that a secret.
Yeah, for sure, because then I'll copy it and it'll be nothing.
Absolutely. And then I'll be having to outbehave myself.
Right. So the way that, again, keep in mind the congruency with your values, right, and your style attributes if you want to work through those and get those fleshed out, and make sure that it's congruent with what you're talking about. And we're not talking about having a furniture company that has a lot of wild animals, like a lion around them. Like, what does that mean, right? So to me, that's a marketing gimmick. it gets your attention and stuff. It says nothing about your brand, right? There's no relevancy there, in my opinion. So just an example, but thank you for sharing that. Good for you. That's awesome. I'll behave. Who else? What are you gonna do? Yes, ma'am.
What stuck with me was that I've read your book, Personal Brand Clarity, so I have some understanding, but what it really comes down to is that to make everything actionable and tangible and to hold yourself and the company accountable. And that just sticks with me because you can make up all sorts of fun words, you can hire a consultant, but ultimately it comes down to making this actionable and then holding yourself or your brand accountable.
Absolutely, make it
That
real.
sticks.
Yeah, otherwise you're wasting, you're one of the 679 billion people that are wasting their marketing dollars, right? Because it's not bringing people back. Thank you for that, yes. Who else? What are you gonna do? Who's excited? Justin?
I loved everything, but I thought it was fascinating that only 1.5% of marketing dollars are not wasted.
I know, and then 40% of that is wasted due to ill-informed, demotivated staff undermining the promotional promise, right?
It's exhausting to even think about.
So you've got, if you don't think you're ready now to market, stop marketing for now, right? And start branding and really get crystal clear on who you are as a brand. Anything else? Anything else? You want to share? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I like the last part where you're taking what you branded and then applying it to the different elements of your business. And I don't think I've really thought through that.
That's what the secret sauce, right? What are you thinking? Is you got some ideas at the back of your mind about how to push some of those values and style attributes in? Excellent, good job. All right. So I want to share with you. Thank you guys for being here today. I have a couple of specials. Business with Employees, a 60-minute consulting. This is hardcore consulting. This is not a sales call. This is let's get down to business. Let's talk about what you're trying to do, and I'll give you 3 or 4 things to walk away with to implement. Special is $150, and then the solopreneur, the 60-minute special is $99. Same thing. We're going to talk about what you can do to walk away with some things to do right now. I've got those applications up here. If you want one, I can pass them out, or you can come up and see me later. But this is just I've got a few appointments left in April that I want to offer to you guys to book that. You can book it by scanning that, and I think I have a QR code on the form as well. So think about that. I'm going to stick around for a little bit. Thank you guys again. It's my pleasure to deliver this information. I hope I blew your mind in terms of what you were thinking and shifted your paradigm around what you should be doing before you spend another dollar in marketing. Thank you so much. Namaste. I'm going to draw for a book. My books are $20. I've got a Venmo, or you take cash, whatever. I'm going to have you pick it, Gail, or Abigail.
Ooh, so much pressure.
Robert Taylor.
Taylor Power.
Yes.
Excellent.
Would you like me to sign it? Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yes. Suzanne, any other announcements? I don't think so. Thank you again so much. I'm in town. Give me a call. I'm Alex and Lori. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. All right.
Thank you all so much for being here. We kept you just a couple minutes late, so thank you for your additional few minutes today. We have another educational event coming up in May 14th, and we're talking about AI. Who's using AI? Who's not using AI on purpose should be using AI. Every single one of those hands should be up. This is a really great presentation, and I know some of you sat through this presentation last year, and it's going to blow your mind that it's a completely different presentation because AI is changing that fast. We have new tools, new recommendations for you, and Audrey Kirshner, owner of Inkama Marketing, will be presenting everything to know about AI and how to implement it to make your businesses, especially for you solopreneurs, more efficient so we're not wasting time. So sign up either through the SBDC or the Trail Lakes Chamber for that. If you didn't get a chance to sign in on your way in, sign in at the table as you walk out. Otherwise, thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you in May. And we hope to see you for Small Business Week. I forgot to mention that really quickly for those of you who aren't familiar. The Pikes Peak Small Business Development Center, the Chamber and Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC, and the Better Business Bureau of Southern Colorado are partnering to host the National Small Business Week from May 5th to May 9th. We have a kickoff celebration that I'm promising is going to be a great party. On Monday, May 5th, you can get tickets on our website, and then we have workshops all throughout the week. You can find out more information on all of the topics and who will be presenting on our website. It's pikespeaksbdc.org, and you can purchase your tickets there as well. Happy to answer any questions if you have any. Otherwise, I will let you get back to your afternoon.